So then they wrote the Declaration of Independence, signed it, gave it to him. I am a middle school world history teacher, and I also teach middle school and high school video production.
Matt is constantly doing new things, and he's obviously an amazing educator. We think about classrooms and student engagement. I think his record speaks for himself. There's a piece written about him with some of this other activity that said, walking around town is like walking around with the mayor. You can't go anywhere without someone wanting to give him a hug.
Mr. Hamilton is one of the most personable teachers that I've ever known. He also is somebody that will truly believe in you and get behind you to support you.
In 2008, we had 2 tragedies in our school. It was just a really, really hard time in our community. And we brought in a motivational speaker. And in this presentation, he had a bag of shoes, and he just pulled out these shoes one after the other and just told the stories of the kids that wore those shoes, how they were being abused at home and then they were coming to school and being bullied. All my students were really drawn to the shoes. They were just a powerful visual for my students. And then they started coming and talking to me during lunch, before school, after school, looking for advice, looking for help from me with their problems they were going through. And I learned through that experience that my students are coming to me every day with a mask on. Behind those smiles and those laughs are some real pain. I couldn't sleep for a couple weeks trying to figure out how to help my students. And I came up with the Shoe Club.
Matt's goal with Shoe Club is to look at struggle and how do we build from that? How do we learn from that? How do we grow from that?
A couple years into the Shoe Club, I thought, you know what, I'm going to start collecting people's shoes who can be role models, just people who make the world a better place. This is Dolly Parton's high heels. This is Dan Kleinert. He is one of the world's best junk artists.
It's amazing to walk into this school, walk by the case of shoes, and see all the people that have been impacted by this project. The celebrities and the athletes, the civil rights activists.
These are people who've dreamed big, worked hard, set goals, and eventually given back to their community.
Now, what do you guys think of this as naming the podcast If Shoes Could Talk? So part of the Shoe Club is doing these big projects.
Big project when I was a senior was called EJ Solar Spark. And the vision for this started off with, we just want a couple of solar panels to maybe power some lights. And it grew into 71 solar panels and 30 kilowatts of power for the school, where we fundraised about $70,000 from scratch.
After the success of our solar array project, we started a garden project with our elementary school where we raised $75,000. This past year, we did a project called EJ Honor and Service. And that project was all about honoring our veterans and our local heroes here in East Jordan. We raised $130,000 to enhance a Veterans Park. Big projects allow my students to gain essential skills that they wouldn't normally get in a regular classroom. Leadership skills, critical thinking, teamwork.
The impact of Mr. Hamilton's work is truly going to be felt for generations to come. It's not just the impact and the work that he's doing with the students on the day-to-day basis. It makes you want to go out and reflect on yourself and how you can give back to your community, because we are all in this together.